All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the second match of 3 tonight in the Zelda 2 Randomizer tournament. This is also the other semifinal match. Dig Shake versus Unos. This is Angry Larry. I am joined with Benkglass2. Benkglass2, how are you?
I am doing well. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I am doing well, and thank you for thanking me for asking. And we'd also like to express concern for safety. Anybody in the Florida area, we hope you guys are okay and with power and able to join us tonight. But if you are watching this on VOD later on, we hope everything went well for you. Benkglass2, what are you thinking of this race tonight? How is it going to shape up?
I think this is, if I remember correctly, the first and second place people from last year's Zelda 2 Randomizer tournament. So I think we're in for a treat either way.
Yes, Unos was the champion of last year's Zelda 2 Randomizer tournament, taking out Dig Shake in the final. Unos lost the first match in the well, it was a different format. It was just straight up double elimination. Unos was in the winner's bracket. Dig Shake got knocked out by the Enchantress of Numbers room. Enchantress of Numbers taking the drop. We all remember that room. And was in the loser's bracket. And then Dig Shake won the first race, and then it came down to the last race where Unos pretty much won narrow marginally. I think it came down to possibly a missed key and needing to die for the item in Palace 4, if I remember correctly. But this tournament, though, Benkglass2, went a little bit opposite. Dig Shake went 4-0 in the Swiss rounds. Unos went 2-2.
Yeah, I think early on in this tournament, we saw Unos kind of struggling, maybe with the new settings. I don't know if he had played a lot in the interim, but I think he's more familiar with the new settings that are available now, and I don't think that he'll struggle too much tonight.
No, the changes from last year to this year, there were a few of them. One of them was the P-bag caves now on the Western continent and Eastern continent have flags to be large items, your more important items. And it took a few people a little while to get used to it because it meant playing the game longer. It meant exploring more places. And those who are used to going really fast could streamline because there was a limit to where certain items can be. Now it's pretty much every item anywhere except if it can be blocked by it. And that opens up the game a lot. And we saw a lot of that openness in this tournament so far.
Yeah, especially early on, we saw a lot of people having to do near 100% of seeds. And that can be a little challenging if you're used to, having a safe route that you can take, insofar as you can even have a route in Randomizer. But I know some of these top players do seem to have routing techniques that are beyond me.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find a place to put this document that's not going to mess up my push to talk.
The struggles of document placement. Looks like we're having some technical problems with the runners here, so we're going to have to banter a little bit until they're ready.
Oh, absolutely. If anybody wants to thank Joshy D and the Countess for talking about commentating the prior race, they did a great job. Show your appreciation in chat with some cow puns. The Countess will be moved. Is that good? That was good.
Oh,
but we'll assume that you join us later. We might probably going to double talk a little bit on what they've explained so far. Repetition is not that bad, especially if this is the first time you're watching the tournament. BGT, what's the first thing about playing the Zelda 2 Randomizer that you notice that is randomized?
The first thing you're going to notice is that the overworld is completely new. You'll step out of the North Palace where you start and be in a very unfamiliar territory, no matter how many times you've even played Randomizer.
There are a lot of parts of the game that retain their generic rule sets, I will say, like loosely defined elements of the game, like the first 4 towns will always be in the Western continent, and we'll put a little star in that for now, because future editions of the randomizer may change that. So you'll both continents, Western continent, Eastern continent, will have 4 towns. The Western continent will have 3 palaces, while the Eastern continent would have 4, one of them being in the Valley of Death and the other one being on Maze Island. Your caves that contain items are still limited to the continent or the area they would be found. whether it's Death Mountain, Maze Island, or either side of the continents. And other things or more randomized, like encounters. In this this flag set for this round, path encounters could also be not safe.
Oh, that's new in this round of the tournament, right? I don't remember seeing that previously.
Yeah, I hate Control Z bound to push to talk. Yes, path encounters not safe. We're losing 1 heart container. We can only go to a maximum 7 heart containers, which then places a 500-point P bag in its place wherever it would have randomized. And there's one other one, a life spell, I believe, is randomized as well, the effectiveness of it, anywhere between 1 and 5 heart containers. And it looks like we're going to be on our way in a few seconds here.
Yeah, and I think these runners won't have too much of a struggle with the life spell if it gets a bad roll, but that can be a real challenging setting for people who are newer to the game.
Yeah, so the first thing we're gonna notice is we are gonna notice that randomized overworld, and we'll explain more options as we go. You see that boulder blocking that cave there. In the randomizer, 0 to 2 caves can be blocked by the boulder in the western part of Hyrule. They always have to be large items, though, BGT.
Yeah, well, large items with an asterisk, because some of the large items might be P bags.
Yeah, and right now you see who's on the right-hand side. Yunos here in Trophy Cave, while Dig Shake's in the grass tile. Grass tile has the kid, and we'll be trading that in Darunia if we need to for a spell.
Yeah, and another thing we'll notice here is that the players are not starting with the candle, so Trophy Cave is in the dark. And, Yunos and Dig Shake have certainly done Trophy Cave plenty of times to know how to do it in the dark. But there's a little bit of a mix-up with the enemies being randomized, so you're not quite sure what to expect in there.
And it was the magic container in Trophy Cave. We are in, was that 2 or 5 for Yunos?
I didn't quite catch if he stabbed the statue there, so I'm not sure.
Well, he's going to check out the backside of Sario while Dig Shake finds the backside of Jump Cave. There are 3 caves you can pass through to connect to another side of the Western continent if it is segmented. It most certainly always is. Saria is a town you can go through if you perhaps find Bagu with his letter. You can give it to the Riverman, cross the bridge, or you can get the fairy spell and go through that way. And the other way to get around Death Mountain, well, the boots will do it if you have the boots and there's water blocking it. But Death Mountain, BGT, that's always my favorite seed, is when Death Mountain is required to go through.
Yeah, we don't see those seeds too often, but Death Mountain, especially without Candle, can be quite a challenging ordeal. You can get the with the large and small enemies mixed, which we have this seed. You can get Red Dyra in a short hallway, and that can be really tough to get through. Even no matter how experienced you are, that might just be impossible to get through.
All right, so we see Palace 4 on the Western continent. Yunos checks that desert tile, finds a 100-point P bag. Dig Shake gets the magic key in Heart Container Cave.
And that's a really good find early on, because now he doesn't have to worry about finding fairy or how much fairy will cost before he can start exploring palaces.
One of the logical rules of the game is the game requires you to get either fairy or the magic key, or you have to get fairy or the magic key before you're required to go into palaces. So having the magic key now puts the option of the raft being in either Palace 4, Palace 3, or 6, like Dig Shake's in right now, or whatever that was, 2 or 5 that we saw earlier. Whereas if you didn't find the magic key or fairy, then the raft couldn't be in, or had a chance to not be in the palaces, depending on if you found all the stuff. It's like I'm giving you a tutorial how to play a game too, BGT.
Yeah, that's actually quite useful, because I am not particularly good at this game.
Yunos is in the magic container cave now. And Dig Shake's going to go through 5. No, he's not.
It's 5.
Yeah, so 5, 4, and either 3 or 6 in the Western continent. This is brutal. This could be brutal. This could add a lot of time to their... both runners are more than capable of it. But if the raft's in one of those areas, this could add a lot of time here.
Yeah, and especially if that 3 or 6 happens to be with an early glove block, both 4 and that palace won't be very attractive options early on.
Well, there's that one cave blocked by a boulder there. There's still 2 more caves left that have the potential to have large items in them. And then we still haven't seen Death Mountain, if we can get to it from this side. But we haven't seen a whole lot of caves here. We've only seen the back end of the front end of Jump Cave.
And there's another minor thing that we see randomized on Digshake's side, the small items as well. That forest encounter normally has a 50-point P-bag, but today it had a 1-up.
Yunos is going through the Heart Container Cave again. Did he game over on his way through?
I did see him game over, but I wasn't sure where he was before that. It looks like Dig is gonna jump into a palace here.
Well, he's got the magic key, so he might feel like there's nothing here in this area, that maybe he has to find something like the boots to get him through to the other side, or the hammer that might get him the boots in the blocked cave here. This might be a good read here if he's explored everything.
Yeah, and he's trying to capitalize on one of I think it's your theories, Larry, that if the item in 4 is required, it'll be close to the start.
Or Carrick is close.
Yeah, he finds not the item, but Carrick, which he cannot do yet without the reflect spell.
Well, one of the major drawbacks of going into 4 early, and Yunos is doing the same thing, so both players probably arrived at the fact that they can't do anything else. They're going to have to go look for an item to then do something else. One of the drawbacks of 4 specifically is the amount of key doors that you can find in a row. That even if you have the fairy spell, you might have to take multiple death abuses, or you could risk getting soft locked in between 2 key doors and not have a way to renew your magic. But
Yeah, unfortunately for the runners, that won't be a problem this particular time.
No, absolutely not. All right, Yunos is going to find Carrick and turn around and go the other way. Let's see what Digshake finds here when he goes right, and it's the dead end. He has the magic key. There's no real reason for him to go through that, but it should be said that those are not necessarily keys. The keys and the P bags on the set of flags will randomize between the palace sets 1, 2, and 5, or 3, 4, and 6. So that could have been a P bag, or I believe it could have even been the 1-up from Palace 6.
Yeah, I think you're right there. And Digshake finds a really mean set of Iron Knuckles blocking his way left here.
Yeah, without downstab or really any spell, you really have to lure him out, and you have to jump over him. If you let go of the D-pad when you're mid-jump, the enemies will stop reading your input, and they'll kind of freeze in their tracks. Another option is you can just kind of brute force him back by, tinging into him with your sword, but there's 2 of them.
Yeah, and then he finds, the orange Iron Knuckle on the other side who, comes in for the illegal block to the back there.
I'm also watching the illegal block to the back on the other screen, but Yunos decided he was going to try to kill him, then realized halfway through, like, this is just not a good idea. Let's up A, and let's go into 3 or 6 and try to find out what it is, and it is 6, so 4, 5, and 6 are on the west.
That's kind of a fitting set of palaces for these runners, having the harder palaces appear early.
And I need to mention the tile set in this palace. If they have to go through that Canadian hole room with the jump with these tiles, well, we'll walk right into the item room, so let's not even explore that option. And there's my theory, BGT.
The Canadian hole room could be very challenging with these, because it's a lot harder to count which tile you're on with the half tile width pattern here.
Yeah, I've played a seed where there was these Pez tiles, and you had to jump over it, and you didn't have that downstab, and you didn't have jump, and it was holding the raft. But no, Yunos found the item room as Digshake's in it now, but again, no downstab and pretty low attack level, life level, he decided to go away.
Yeah, that's a tough fight, even for a veteran, to do without downstab, especially at these low levels. Like, you can take, what, maybe 2 hits before you die?
It might be one of these rare seeds where both these players have to bulk up, get fit. What is it? Shape up. Sorry, shape up.
Shape up.
And then, and I don't know. Maybe this Rebo has the boots, but they're going to have to go elsewhere, get some XP, and come back. Or just Tink up it.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible to defeat him at these levels. It's just, it doesn't seem like either of these runners have practiced downstabless Rebo too much. And I mean, there's no reason to do so.
So Yunos is either looking for a 5, or he's potentially looking for something he's might have missed. And Digshake's going to do exactly the same thing. He's going to walk out and save his 230 points of experience.
Yeah, we did see Yunos step into Mito briefly there, but unfortunately without Jumper Fairy and without the medicine, there's not any use in going to that town.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are treated to a rare treat here. This has never been done before. Oh, and it's not going to be done now. I could have sworn Digshake was going to grind that Iron Knuckle until he gained a few levels.
He knew you were watching, and he thought better of it, Larry.
How much was it worth?
I didn't see, but here he's going to fight it again, so maybe we'll see it after all.
It might be a necessary grind, though. It's a little grainy on my side. I couldn't tell if that was 1 or 150.
I think it was 150. He gets attack 3 from it, so, he's going to go and try Rebo again, it looks like.
Yunos might be looking for a good place on the overworld to get some XP. Finding an encounter with a red Daira or 2 that are worth 200 experience points, maybe. Digshake's going to give it one more go here.
Yeah, we'll see if attack 3 is even more effective, because with the settings that we're using today, the attack effectiveness is randomized as well. So you could have an attack level up that actually doesn't improve your attack at all.
Yeah, the way it works is you get it from the base game, from the vanilla game, your attack level, your attack, magic, and life effectiveness on these set of flags for this round of the tournament can go plus or minus 50% of the stats that they were. And like you said, if it rolls lower than the prior level, it stays the same. So you'll never get you'll never go from attack 2 to 3, and 3 is worse than 2. At the worst, it's going to stay the same. But there's not really much of a guarantee it's going to go up early on. Found Raru on Yunos' side, so he did find something that Digshake didn't find.
Oh, and that's huge. The jump spell will let him go back to Mito and get downstab and really make the Rebanak fight trivial.
And there is no safeguard in place to make it so that you're guaranteed to get downstab before needing to fight Rebo either. Like, that's not one of the logical elements of the randomizer.
No, we've actually seen in this very tournament at least one race where the item that got you downstab was behind Rebanak.
So Yunos will go get that downstab. Digshake, I guess there was a little bit of a stubbornness to cross this bridge before, or they've explored elsewhere and decided, or just out of sight, out of mind maybe, but after trying all 3 of the palaces, or 2 of the palaces, Digshake's going to go across this bridge and that's probably exactly what Yunos did, because I didn't see it because I was trying to watch Digshake fight Rebo.
Yeah, this looks like the same sort of section of overworld that Yunos was in when he found Raru.
Yeah, those blotchy, like the swamp and the forest tiles scattered about that grassy area. There's the red Daira. Let's see how much experience it's worth. Bare minimum.
Wow. Yeah, that's the lowest possible.
Is it? Or 50 lowest? Is
I
it
thought
100 in base game?
Yeah, I don't remember what it is in the base game. I thought they were 150, but maybe not.
Yeah. If they were 150, then 70 is the lowest. The way XP works in the game is you get the whole range, like every enemy's a fixed amount in the vanilla game, and if you put that all in a range, like an array, whatever the enemy's worth can go plus or minus 2 values from that experience points, from whatever experience it normally gives. It's kind of complicated for me to explain it, but if the diary gave 150 normally, then it can give 70, 100, the same 150, 200, or 300. That's just how the experience range works.
And keeping in mind that there's a small bug in the vanilla game where when they say 300, they're actually giving you 301.
They are, and this old man who needs Wi-Fi is giving Yunos the life spell in Saria while Digshake gets jump in Raru, so...
Life spell in Saria is the same that you get in vanilla, so that's kind of disappointing.
And also disappointing here is Death Mountain. Early access to that Spectacle Rock, Monocle Rock, Boulder, or whatever you want to call it.
I believe I've heard Barnacle Rock as well.
Yeah, it's the only thing in this game I never renamed. Alright, there's the left end of Parappa Cave, the pass-through cave on Yunos' side. BGT, what are you looking for here?
I mean, I think if I'm Yunos, now that I have downstab, I'm going back to fight Rebo and see what that item is in 6.
You would up A and cross over the bridge, or would you fully explore this area first because you might find, I don't know, any cave with anything after that? You know, the glove, or there's still 2 caves out there. There's Heart Container Cave, Medicine Cave, or P-Bag Cave, and one of them's blocked by a boulder very close to start, but 2 of them contain items, and it could be something beneficial to help you, aid you in that fight, but Yunos agrees with you.
Yeah, I think maybe Yunos was just going until he got the game over there and then decided he might as well just go get the item where he already knows where it is. But you bring up a good point. Like, it would be beneficial to explore that area while you're there. I think getting the game over, though, it makes more sense to go to the place where you know something is.
Yeah, there's just so much we haven't seen yet. Caves, and I don't think we've seen Rudo. And I do not believe we've seen the raft tile. Is that correct?
I don't remember seeing the raft tile. I thought I saw someone in Heart Container Cave early, but I don't remember an item being there, so maybe I'm making things up.
Heart Container Cave was the magic key. I misspoke because I wrote them in an opposite order than I normally do, and my H looks like an M.
I see. Well, here is both the front end of Saria and the raft tile.
Okay, so it was right next to it then. Yeah, remember, Yunos was in Saria when Digshake was playing around in 6 and coming out of 6. We're going to see what this item is in 6, though. It is the greatest item of all time. It is the 500-point P-Bag.
Well, that's somewhat disappointing, but this early on, 500 XP is actually pretty beneficial.
And there is the life spell for Digshake. So both players have both of the free spells on the Western continent. No ability to get either of the 2 remaining. And Yunos is going to go into 4. I really wonder if the getting the magic key is the cause for them trying to force getting items from the palaces. Because I don't think they've really fully explored everything, especially when Digshake's going to walk into Proper Cave now, and I didn't see anybody on the other end of this.
Yeah, that could potentially go to like a little secluded area somewhere in the Western continent.
There's always a possibility that the cave just before it was the other end of it, but I don't think I remember seeing that. All right, Yunos takes the drop here. This is the middle level of the drop fall sequence. He'll get an elevator down here and probably have an option to go left or right.
Big Shake's stuck in a vast graveyard here in the southern part of West Hyrule.
Yeah, it is one big graveyard. There's a second cave blocked by a boulder, so there's only one cave remaining out of the 3 that you don't need the hammer for. And that is the second P-bag for Yunos in a palace.
Yeah, he might be regretting this decision to go back to the palaces now, instead of looking further in the southern bit of Hyrule.
Well, he is going to go back to the southern part of Hyrule here.
So if we noticed on Dig Shake's screen, he saw the river that separates some sections of Western Hyrule, and there was nothing on the other side. So I don't think Parappa will be a key cave at this point. I don't think that there's any other sections we haven't seen.
You get a different feel watching this game than playing it. And at first you thought that there was nothing else to be found, that they had to find like a magic item in a palace, and then all of a sudden they walk into, 2 towns that give them free spells. Then you think there's nothing else, they have to go through Parappa Cave, and Dig Shake arrives at Rudo, and now he's in P-Bag Cave, the last remaining open item cave. And the exploration pays off because there's the required item to cross over to the eastern continent, the raft.
Yeah, that's like one of the very few absolutely required items in this game.
Reflect, Thunder, and the raft. Then there's mostly required and beneficial after that.
And Dig Shake's gonna go ahead and make use of the raft right away and head over to the eastern half of Hyrule.
Yeah, he's going to ignore Death Mountain, and he's going to know that the only other 2 places he can get items on the western continent are, well, he's got all 3 palaces he hasn't done, but also the 2 caves that are blocked by a hammer. So why not go here? I mean, you might find New Kasuto, and 5 magic containers may be enough to get the item there, or if I find Maze Island, there's 2 items there, or even Palace 1, Palace 2.
Yeah, and with the magic key, Palace 1 and 2 are basically free items. Meanwhile, Yunos has found the hammer shrine in Death Mountain, and it didn't seem like he was there very long, so that kind of seems like an easy find.
And that's the flute in one of the P-Bag caves on the eastern continent for Dig Shake.
So which category of item would you say the flute falls into from your categories earlier?
Oh, if you're getting it this early and this easy, I would put it in the possibly beneficial category. What item was that for Yunos?
That was the boots for Yunos, which is definitely in the beneficial category.
Highly beneficial category, and for some reason I did feel like the misread of the overworld made me feel like the boots were going to be accessible, but certainly they were. And look at all the places that Dig Shake could put the boots to use where he is right now. There's the water tile, there's a river he can cross over, there's a little lake he can go around.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll see him go back to Death Mountain unless whatever's in Spectacle Rock becomes important.
Or he finds an eastern continent where he can't do anything else, and now he knows he needs to have the boots before he goes there.
Yeah, that's a good point. The boots can actually be a required item.
And there's the raft pickup for Yunos right now.
Dig Shake's going to step into Palace 3? Or
6.
is he back in 6?
He's back in 6. He went back to the western continent because I believe there's nowhere else to go on the east. There was the P-Bag Cave and like a whole bunch of water.
So yeah, he'll be disappointed to find a 500 P-Bag here. And it'll be interesting to see if he also then steps into 4 to look for the item there.
I mean, if I'm reading the situation right, and I watch Dig Shake play a lot of this game in my spare time, if he thinks he needs the boots, he's got to do everything, and he's going to possibly go into 4 next, and then probably seek out Death Mountain before he does 5.
Yeah, 5 is a pretty challenging place to look for an item because that's a very large palace, and it's very easy to get lost in P5 with the randomized rooms.
All right, and I don't have the webcam up, but just assume there's a look of disappointment there as Dig Shake picks up the 500-point P-bag. You know, disappointment, yes, because both these runners don't really care about their levels. Like, yeah, we said before, an early 500-point P-bag is good, but in their eyes, they wanted to see something else. And that something else being the glove or what have you. And Yunos also gets the flute in that P-bag cave, so both players have the flute now.
Yeah, and I think, early for me is within the first hour, but for these guys, I don't think that a P-bag 25 minutes into the seed is anything that they're going to be impressed with.
No, especially after getting said P-bag, they're going to want to up an A anyway. I don't know if Dig Shake up an A because he was very close to the level. He might have finished that off, but I was watching Yunos in the P-bag cave just in case it was the other one. But we'll get a look at the water tile here. And it is a magic container right there. So Yunos has 6 magic containers. The old lady in Nukasuda that normally asks for 7, with the flags we're playing in this seed for this round of the tournament, it's going to be in between 5 and 7 that gets randomized to. So having 6 is a good chance, 66% chance, repeating BGT, that he can get the item out in Nukasudo.
That's some good math, Larry.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of seeds where the Nukasudo item was important. So, magic containers at first don't seem like they're a good find, but they can actually be, the turning point of a game.
And there's disappointment number 2 for Dig Shake. He also grabs the P-bag out of 4. Both players did not dip into 5. I'm going to still go on my limb here and say that Dig Shake is going to jump into Death Mountain.
Has Dig Shake found the entrance to Death Mountain yet? I don't remember seeing him there, but he might have. I know he doesn't like going into Death Mountain if he doesn't have to, so he might have dipped in and immediately left.
Possibly, but he didn't want to cross that bridge. He's actually going to go into 5 and then walk out of 5 and then go into that cave and then realize that's Trophy Cave and then go back into 5.
So we have another divergence of strategy here where Dig Shake's going to explore 5 and Yunos went for Death Mountain.
Well, we know Death Mountain got you the boots, but if 5 gets you the glove and Dig Shake still knows he needs the boots, we might have a situation we had in the first race where Nierm didn't get the raft, but stumbled upon the glove and then got the raft after, while Jam got the raft first and did other things before arriving at, the glove being in Death Mountain.
Yeah, skipping the item or the place where the glove is can really put a damper on your time, just because it's such a crucial item.
All right, looks like Yunos is working hard there to find Maze Island, and it's not in that lower corner of the continent.
Yeah, Maze Island would be a great finder at this point because it's going to have Palace 1 or 2, and it's going to have 2 completely free items.
And that Maze Island is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, BGT. Can I rant for like 20 minutes about it? We see the candle in 5. That's Dig Shake wanted that.
Yeah, there's no point in this game where the candle is something that these runners want.
Did you see Maze Island?
I did not see it.
All right. I'm not going to spoil it for you.
We'll have a 20-minute rant after Yunos gets out of this palace.
I'm just going to say it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I bet Yunos is going to walk the whole length of it just for me. Maybe not. He's in a race.
So this is Palace 3. I thought we saw Palace 3 somewhere else in the Eastern Hyrule.
No, that was Dig Shake back in 6.
Oh, right. But Yunos isn't on Maze Island.
He is not. Maze Island's on the other side of the mountain. From where
Oh,
3
so
is.
your complaint was about where the raft spot was, the bridge?
The bridge for Maze Island is where my complaint was, yes.
Yeah, it looked like it was quite a long bridge there. I saw it briefly.
Yeah, certainly the overcompensating flag is on for this tournament.
Well, Dig Shake's in the race, so I don't know how else we could have it.
So Yunos doesn't have a glove. He was met with a glove block room in 3, so he got out of there. He's going to be looking elsewhere. Then he's going to have to come back into 3. Dig Shake, I'm in 5. I'm just going to try to do 5 mentality right now.
It's pretty unlikely that there'd be a glove. Is there even a glove block room in 5?
No, not at all. But that goes so fast, that desert tile, that I missed what it was. It was a magic container.
Yes, so he has 7 now, and he'll definitely be able to get the item out of Nukasudo if he gets there.
Yeah, so we will mention that within the palaces, the rooms do shuffle around. They rotate. They're out of order, but only within the same palace. So, Dig Shake's in 5 right now. Palace 5 rooms will only be found in Palace 5. Every room will be able to be explored. They won't randomize in like dead end paths where, like 2 rooms connected to each other, but they both have dead ends, so you can never get there. And in palaces that do have drops, you're always guaranteed to be able to exit out from the entrance or exit out from the boss room. You're never going to be dropped into a path that goes nowhere.
That's once again one of the things that's kind of tough to explain, but you get a good feel for it if you play the randomizer a lot.
All right, Yunos is in 2 and he gets knocked back into the lava. Dig Shake finds the Eco Key room and he can't progress through it. I mean, he could progress through it, I guess, with the jump and doing the actual Eco Key. That requires... I mean, I guess maybe you can do it with Moa's PGT. I'm not sure on that, but you might have to find the bubble in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can do it with bubbles or not, but it's not an easy trick to pull off if you're not practiced in it. I don't think it's unreasonable to leave and come back with when you have fairy and see if you need to go that way.
Yeah, but 5 is so big, man. How much are you going to explore before you realize that that's the way you have to go?
Yeah, that's one of the problems with doing 5 at all. Like, it's always a problem because you have to do 5 eventually, and it's a very large palace, and there's a lot of potential for loops and just long dead ends that you can run into. Dig Shake's in the room that in vanilla leads to the boss, so for me at least, I always feel like this is the right way to get to Guma, but that doesn't need to be true in the randomizer.
Worst part about 5 is finding that one path, that one way. You're going right and you're going right forever, and then you either run into a dead end or you run into an elevator that starts taking you left for like ever. Have we seen a dripper? Yes, we have. It's a rope. Drippers in this game are randomized to a random enemy with their random XP value assigned to it, and we do have a boss fight here, TGT.
Yeah, this is probably what I find to be the most challenging of the palace bosses, Boss Guma, and he hits like a truck.
But Dig Shake's like, what? And he just takes him out. Nobody's gonna hit that, but whatever.
Yeah, Dig Shake doesn't want to demonstrate how much Guma hits for us, unfortunately.
Oh, he makes an easy fight out of Guma. Guma is not necessarily a beast. He just feels like he's always a beast. And attack 4, life 5 was he at with 4 heart containers? Yeah, it was certainly enough, especially when you don't get hit. And he places the gem in 5, and he's going to move on. And he still feels like he needs the boots. So where is he going to go now? Death Mountain's the only place he can go.
Yeah, especially if he didn't have anywhere to go in the Eastern Continent. Like he's really just down to Death Mountain.
And again, I can't say for sure because I'm not playing this, but just because Yunos had the boots and he's doing stuff in the East, and Digshay came back from the East, and I didn't see him go into any connector cave, I really feel strongly that there were no connector caves available for him. We have a helmet head fight.
I don't remember him seeing any connector caves.
Did we see the item in 2?
I don't think we did. We'll see if Yunos goes back to find it. He's doing the Angry Larry shuffle there, deciding if he wants to, and decides no.
I think he was on that borderline of XP, where he was like, okay, I only need, 46 more XP? Should I go find it, kill a bubble, or should I, just place the gem and whatever? Well, it's going to be attack 5 no matter what.
Yeah, I don't think it would have benefited him much to go get that level.
No, because he can get that easily somewhere else later on when he dumps gem. With 1 gem placed and he's that high in levels, it's going to be easy for him to get that life 5 later.
Yeah, if you can get a attack 5 with your first gem, you're in plenty good shape.
Here's the second of the P-bag caves on the Eastern Continent. This will contain an item. Yunos is hoping for the glove, really. Honestly, we haven't touched upon it yet, but we didn't find Darunia. Have we found any town on the Eastern Continent?
I don't think we've seen a single town over there. Did we ever see Rudo?
Yeah, we finally found Rudo. Digshake found it right before he went into the last cave, P-bag cave. But speaking of Digshake in a cave, Yunos gets the Digshake in a cave. The little digger, the 1-up, the doll. And Digshake's going to use his candle and try to find the hammer cave, and we saw Yunos get to it pretty quickly, I believe.
Yeah, it might even be in this first set of caves.
I don't remember seeing the other side of Death Mountain, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that might have been Yunos might have went into this. Yunos, come on, man. You don't have to walk the whole thing.
He makes his way over to Maze Island, which is a little bit strange looking here.
There is the hammer cave for Digshake, so he will be grabbing the whatever was in there, the boots. And Yunos is going to be in 1 here. Palace 1.
Yeah, so he'll get himself a quick item. It looks like he's heading left, which for those that don't know is the best way to find the item, because the item room always opens to the right, so you have to approach it from the left in Palaces 1, 2, and 5.
And with finding Palace 1 on Maze Island, that means the Great Palace is on the Valley of Death. All right, simultaneous item rooms here. We're going to go in the dual box for you guys watching the red zone. Yunos is finding all the seed has the greatest items in palaces right now.
Yeah, he hasn't found a single useful thing in a palace. Neither runner has. Didn't Digshake find the candle in Palace 5?
Yeah, that's the 1-up for Yunos in in Palace 1. Digshake got the boots out of Hammer Cave and Death Mountain. But to recap the palace items, Palace 1 had the 1-up. Palace 4 and 6 had a 500-point P-bag, and Palace 5 had the candle. So it's starting to get to that point where we're like, all right, well, where is this glove? And how do we arrive at it? And are we going to need to find some sort of puzzle combination like we need the 7 magic containers to get the hammer, to get the kid, to get the to get the trophy, to get the spell, to get, the glove. But we're not exactly there yet. And normally when I give those scenarios, they find the glove like next cave.
Yeah, it's the commentator's anti-curse, I guess. But it would be a lot of fun to see in, a chain like you mentioned, because I think the spell tower is the most convoluted place that an item could be at this point.
Downs SJP and places the gem in Palace 1. Now he's going to walk around Maze Island. 2 items to find here. He found the first one. This is the one where the kid's normally located in the vanilla, the normal version of this game.
The blue Garu give him some trouble, but he gets the glove for his hard work defeating him there. And just like you called, Larry, as soon as you start, postulating about difficult combinations, the glove appears.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Gonna look for the second item here, and here's why. For those thinking that maybe he should just go because he found the glove, well, we still have the trophy. Okay, we don't have the trophy anymore. He's looking for the trophy or the medicine, because neither player has Reflect or Thunder. That's something we haven't touched upon yet. Spell items are still out there, and every town on East hasn't been found yet, so we don't know what is or isn't required to get the additional spells. And thank you for walking that whole length of the bridge on your way out. Can we subtract 15 minutes from Yunos's time just for doing that twice?
I mean, I'm for it.
Yeah, I feel like I should have at least one gift available to me to give a runner per race.
Yunos finds the town of New Kasuto, so he'll get 2 items. Well, 1 or 2 items here and 1 spell, depending on if he finds the spell.
Well, now he's guaranteed to have Thunder and Reflect. He found all the items. He found Trophy in Maze Island, and he found the medicine in New Kasuto. I see Tracker Hammer. Did we miss the hammer?
I don't think anyone got the hammer.
Oh, there's the fairy spell for Yunos in New Kasuto. Dig Shake arrives at SJP, and he'll be placing his second gem. And I just have to make sure that that's correct. That is correct. That's his second gem. Completing Palaces 1 and 5 to Yunos's 1 and 2.
But still lacking the glove, so he's still going to be searching pretty much everywhere for items. So
I do see a road blocked by the River Devil. I've been tricked by this before. You have the horn, you have the flute, you go through the River Devil, and it's just one big, long, dead-end road, but we haven't found 3 towns yet.
Well,
so
Yunos is going to take the path, and we'll see if anything is cool behind him.
Yeah, and we find a town. Tanunubaru. So this is a free spell right here. Not that it matters. Yunos has all the spell items. What does matter is Dig Shake going to get him or not? And he arrived at the glove there.
Yeah, and with the candle, he actually had quite a bit easier time in that cave. He was able to just jump over the blue Garu instead of fighting him.
That was the glove and the trophy for Dig Shake on Maze Island.
Unfortunately, Yunos does not get a useful spell out of Naburu.
What was the spell?
It was the spell.
All right, that wasn't me trying to be funny. I just didn't see it. So here's Palace 2 for Dig Shake. Nothing's stopping him now. He's got the glove just in case it blocked him from the boss. I kind of feel like if he didn't find the glove, he'd still be doing this right now. Yunos is going to grab the spell from Kasuto.
And unfortunately, yet again, not a useful spell.
No, in prior rounds of this tournament, fire was linked to one of the other 7 spells. It was like a 2-for-1, or if it was fairy, it was just fairy. If it was linked to fairy, it was just fairy. But in starting last round, they went unlinked. So fire is just fire, and it won't be a surprise thunder or reflect. But here's the last town in the Eastern Continent. Yunos trying for the super jump, and he gets it to go get upstab.
Yeah, upstab is kind of a looked down on in this game because it's not particularly useful, but it can potentially be required to beat the game.
Depending on how the rooms randomize in the Great Palace, that's for certain. There's 2 rooms that could appear where if you're going right to left through them, that you'd need it to pass through.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen a seed where it's required, but it's always at the back of your mind, sort of, reminding you that it's there.
Well, Dig Shake's at Helmet Head. Countess versus Riku, Riku player was a seed that I remember. I believe they had to have upstab. In fact, Countess went back out because he thought he needed jump as well. And Riku was able to punch a hole, cast fairy, and get through the block, the 1-tile block. While Countess went out and got jump, and that was the deciding factor of that race, I believe. There's a 3rd gem for Dig Shake. He downs Palace 2, Helmet Head.
Yunos is going to go turn in this trophy and see if he actually gets a useful spell. But I think at this point, he has all the useless spells, so this will have to be something useful.
Yeah, there's only 2 places left spells can be, and they both require items. One's the trophy, one's the medicine. So if Dig Shake wants Thunder or Reflect, he's going to have to find the medicine, and the medicine was in the 2nd P-Bag Cave, I believe. No, it was in New Kasuto. It was 7 magic containers, or we don't know how many magic containers it was. Doesn't matter. Dig Shake just picks up the 7th one now. And that was Reflect in Rudo. So that's going to put Thunder in Mito.
Yeah, so the only real potential hiccup at this point for Yunos is not remembering where Mito is.
It was very early on because remember he got the down stab as soon as he got jump. So he went there, like fast track there as soon as he got it.
Yeah, and it looks like he remembered exactly where it was and fast tracked his way right back there.
Looks like Dig Shake's gonna ride out that bridge. And yeah, you don't encounter enemies on the bridge, so there's no reason to step off of it. Did he just no-souled that lady, didn't he?
Yeah, cold shoulder.
It's almost like there's a history there or something. All right, Yunos now has all the spells.
Little does he know that lady that he just gave the cold shoulder has an item that is required to beat the seed.
Wonder if he's doing some silly routing, like if this was spell. That he would go to the end of the town, cast it, get his refill on the way back, and then visit that lady, as opposed to I don't, just some stupid routing where he thought it was going to be faster. Or he can
Yeah.
just flaked and forgot.
He's been doing a lot of vanilla runs. So I think in vanilla you usually go and get the item out of the spell tower and then come back and get this on the way out of town, just because it's a magic container in here and you can refill your magic on the way out.
I guess we're doing the Zelda 2 randomizer community a disservice if we do not mention right now that Yunos is full dig shake. He has all the required items and potentially required items to beat the game.
Yeah, and for those viewers more familiar with A Link to the Past randomizer, full dig shake is what we call go mode in this game.
So Dig Shake gets rid of the River Devil and then decides to walk down. Now maybe he's going to try to check the path here, as Yunos defeats Karak in Palace 4. Very easy Karak. We saw him within the first few minutes of the game. It's gem number 3, 3 apiece.
Yeah, at this point, both the players have all the items, all the knowledge that they need. It's just a question of who can do the things faster.
Yeah, and that's for Yunos, it's defeating Palace 3, 5, and 6. For Dig Shake, it's defeating 3, 4, and 6, but also walking into towns, including the towns in the east where the required spells are not. So he's going to be losing a lot of time just looking for the spells, even though he has the item for the spells. So Yunos is most likely going to do 6, head on over to 5, and then go back to the Eastern Continent where he can tackle 3 and then walk to the Valley of Death. And Dig Shake's going to be looking for Thunder and Reflect on his way to trying to find 3. And he grabs the spell there. So Go ahead.
Have we actually seen Valley of Death? I know we're aware that Great Palace is there because we didn't see it anywhere else, but I don't remember actually seeing the Valley of Death.
I regularly miss Valley of Death's entrance when I redo this, but being that Yunos has the flute, the boots, he's guaranteed to be able to get to it no matter where it is on the Eastern Continent. So
yeah, certainly he'll be able to get there. I just wondered if he knew where it was yet, or if he was in the dark as we are.
Well, speaking of in the dark, Dig Shake picks up Fire in Kasuto, and then that's probably Darunia right there. He'll pick up the shield spell, and then know that he has to go back to the Western Continent if he wants Reflect and Thunder. Fire is not linked in this part of the tournament, so Fire is just Fire.
Yunos really getting bad luck with the jar statues in P6 here.
Ceiling walk. Uh-oh. Someone go on Discord and see if that's legal. I said a lot of good stuff, but I wasn't holding push to talk.
That's always the trouble with push to talk.
Alright, Yunos is still trying to find the path of Barba. And there is shield, so now Dig Shake knows exactly he has to still go in. He has got to go into every town to get every spell. Yunos had to do the same. But in doing so, Yunos is placing gems, and he's going to place another one here in Palace 6, most likely. He's found his... like a sliver of health, though. And he's still going to go for the jackhammer. Barba's health does not move at all.
Wow. Yeah, that is a strong Barba. So that's yet another thing randomized in this is the boss health.
Dig Shake has not yet gotten Thunder or Reflect. But I don't know if it's an attack 5 poor roll against the normal, a high Barba, or it most certainly looks like both.
Yeah, I think it's got to be both. Like he hit him quite a lot of times with that first jackhammer and nothing.
There's a lot of order to the chaos of Zelda 2 Randomizer. The one thing that's still an enigma is how exactly do these health bars work on bosses. Sometimes they never go down. Other times they go down really fast, and then the last 2 bars take forever. You think you're going to win, like you're on the last slash, and then you slash into the guy and take a death. I never quite figured that one out, BGT.
Yeah, I think that's a problem with the vanilla game, though. The boss health bars are kind of wonky in vanilla as well.
Well, Dig Shake grabs Reflect in Rudo. He's going to now get Thunder in Mito, so he can go do concentrate on Palaces only. Yunos places his 4th gem in Palace 6, up A's to get back to the start of the game. And then he's going to probably do 5 and then go back to the east and do everything there. No sense going through that bridge encounter to do 3, just to come back to do 5, just to go back over there to do Great Palace.
Yeah, that's something that can really save you a lot of time, is being aware of what things you need to do that are near where you currently are, and just taking care of them instead of walking back and forth around the overworld.
There's a little bit of a debate in chat about what the health bars could represent on bosses. There was also a rumor at one time that the bars could have been for different bosses that were specific to the palace they were on. So let's say you were fighting Guma. It could have been like Helmet Head's Guma on the Western continent. It could have been like the health bar that was the placeholder for Helmet Head, because that was supposed to be Palace 2, and then it got randomized into Palace 5. Stuff like that.
Oh,
so no one really knows.
Heard that.
I think I just made it up.
It's a good theory. We're going to stick with it. We're going to perpetuate that rumor.
I mean, it sounds good. I'm going to give it its own Twitter account. Carrick boss fight here for Dig Shake in 4, looking to place his 4th gem before Yunos finds Guma.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Dig Shake kind of had some trouble finding Guma in P5, so this is a chance for Dig Shake to make up some time.
Yeah, both have Rebo, so Rebo's a wash. So now it's just the amount of time and effort Yunos has put into here as he grabs the candle out of there. I'm probably wanting the heart container. Both players are at 4 heart containers. Remember, 7 is the max. They found an extra P bag, potentially, that could have been 1 heart container. But there are only 3 heart containers left out there. Both players are at 4 heart containers. It's really Yunos finding Guma versus Dig Shake finding and defeating Barba right now is the race, because both players have to do Rebo. And then routing through Great Palace and all that, but still, it's a lot closer than people might think it was, especially when Dig Shake didn't have the right spells.
Yeah, especially with just the way that Great Palace is in these flags, it could easily be the deciding factor in this race. Great Palace is not shortened anymore, or is it still shortened?
It's still shortened.
In this round,
25 to 50% of the rooms will be removed from Great Palace still. All right, well, Dig Shake's on his way. I did not see Yunos go through 6 with any sort of paying attention, so I don't know where Barba lied in the course of when the scope of where Dig Shake is now, but he's in a dead end room, and he's going to up A and go right back to start.
Yeah, it seemed like Yunos was looking for a while to find Barba, but I think he had to jump down the hole in the room with the statue on the ledge that you can't get to without the jump spell.
Yeah, he landed on the ceiling, and then walked right, and I believe he got to Barba in like 1 or 2 rooms thereafter.
I thought his ceiling walk was to a dead end, but
Ceiling walk could have been to a dead end, and then he walked back the other way and then dropped. And then we'll see. We'll find out. Sometimes Chris Collinsworth's face just shows up on TV, and it just distracts you from life, and you want to flip over your table. Does anyone else get like that?
Maybe you should just turn your TV to a different channel or something.
All right, Yunus is going to go on that go left to go right path. So how concerned are you? I know we're probably very concerned if we're racing this seed right now and only have 4 heart containers. How concerned are you, BGT, for either one of these players? Because Yunus has 2. They both have 2 gems left, and Yunus only has life 4. Dig Shake has life 6.
I mean, I think both of these players would like to have more life levels, more heart containers, but I think they'll be fine. I don't think that it'll be a huge problem. It could be a little bit of a slowdown for Yunus, though. If he goes into Great Palace with 4 heart containers at life 4, he might have to play a little more carefully, and that'd be another opportunity for Dig Shake to make up some more time.
There is, yes, these players can do it, and then there is also, well, if they get hit a couple times and take a death or a game over because of various reasons, like large enemy, like a bad waffle room where it's just a bunch of large, Fockers, Chicken Knights, whatever you want to call them, blocking the path. You can take chip damage, and chip damage at life 5, life 6, with 4 heart containers. They have the life spell, yes, but in taking deaths and casting life and potentially jump or shield or whatever they want to do to get away from some of these enemies, it could take its take its toll.
Yeah, I mean, if chip damage is half your health, like that's a little bit more serious than anyone would like.
Yeah, so yes, they can do it, and they've have done it, and we've seen them do it before. But again, you said, will it slow them down? And it absolutely could. Not that they're going to go out of the way and try to find a heart container. I think Yunus finding the item room in 5 and then walking towards it is the most you're going to see either of them search for that extra heart container. But still,
yeah, I think if they stumble upon an item room, they'll probably check what the item is, just because an extra heart would be that much more safety net.
Well,
but I don't think they're going to specifically look for any extra hearts at this point.
I'm going to say Dig Shake's not, because in 6, he doesn't want to spend that time fighting Rebo. He'll walk out. But if both of them arrive in Palace 3, because you're going right anyway, they may take the 40-second walk, whatever we timed it out to be, to just see if it's a heart container. Because you can see right there, Yunus takes 1 hit from Guma and went down about 2.5 bars. Or actually, I guess it's a bar and a half. And he takes 3 hits, and he barely has any life left. But he gets it. He gets the job done. Life 4 is not a good thing. He's at 50 to 70, though, when he places the gem. So he might be able to take a couple life levels here. And they're fine on attack. It's the life I'm more worried about for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll see him take some life levels here.
He's going to up A after this, so let's see what he does here. He's going to take attack 7. Okay. So in taking attack 7, now he's going to have to hope that when he places the gem in 3, and 3 can be very short, that he's going to be on the maximum amount of experience, just dump it all into life, or he's only going to be able to take 1 life level and have to go into Great Palace at 745. Is that what he'd be at?
Yeah, I think I think he'd be fine at 745, but like we discussed, I don't think that's what he wants to be at. So Valley of Death is actually right there next to Maze Island.
Yeah, that's an interesting location, and we already knew the boots were required.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see some life levels from this last gem placement that Yunos is going to do once he clears this palace.
Yeah, so we always like when the runners arrive at Great Palace right around the same time. They're pretty much going to be at 3 around the same time. Yunos is going to have probably like a minute and a half lead by the time Big Shake gets there, maybe a little bit more, and be able to explore. I don't know, maybe 5 rooms, 6 rooms. He's already knows he has this glove block room because he was in here earlier.
Yeah, and just depending on how much XP Yunos gets to Rebanak with, like the level thing could be an issue even here in 3.
Yeah, Yunos is going to grab all the P bags, and let's see how fortunate he is. See if the keys in this palace have rolled the P bags for him. There'll be one in this room potentially, and it is a P bag, and it is the highest one you can find in the palace, 200 points. So he'll be able to cross this threshold from life 5. I don't know where Magic 5 lies on the spectrum.
Yeah, I also don't remember how much XP Rebanak is worth. But at only 1120, he'll be fine. He'll get his attack 8 opportunity and probably dump it into life here.
Yeah, he's going to have 9160 to spend on after Rebanak, and the fight's right here. So Palace 3 is easy come, easy go.
This is about the most cooperative Palace 3 I could imagine.
So just like anything else I say, it gets invalidated 5 minutes later. Yunos is going to be in very good shape here defensively for Great Palace, or at least better than he was, and as well as he could be.
Yeah, he could really not have asked for a better Palace 3 to finish off his gem placements there.
Dick Shake's going to have just as easy of a path and the same walk right to Valley of Death afterwards. Yeah, I mean, pay attention, because this is going to come down to if things don't go as they're supposed to in Great Palace, where it's, go right, and if you can't go right, go up or down until you go right. You could, one person makes that turn in the area, the other one didn't, and it could be game over. It will be game over if that's the case. All right, 748. He's going to walk in there with 1110. He needs 10 more experience, and he can get Magic 5.
Yeah, I think Magic 5 will be fairly beneficial. You usually get some pretty good cost reductions at that level.
Yeah, that's a level where several spells could go for much cheaper than they were at Magic 4. Fairy, or, life goes down. Life could go down a little bit as well. Life could be anywhere between 25 and 75 at Magic 5. T-Bird fight for Yunos. Rebanak fight for Dig Shake. Just because Yunos is at T-Bird doesn't mean good things. This might actually mean opposite. The rest of Great Palace is beyond Thunderbird right now. He could go 2 rooms and find Darklink, or he can go 1 room and, have a choice and pretty much go anywhere. But Dig Shake is now placed his 6th gem, and game over there, or death there for Yunos. You a fan of early T-Bird, BGT?
I'm actually not a fan of early T-Bird. I prefer like a mid-timing T-Bird, because that's the only real landmark you have in randomized Great Palace about your progress through.
So the one thing I'm worried about is early T-Bird is walking into the next room and it's like the Eon drop, and then saying, let me just check one more room right, and it's another drop room, and you're just like, oh man, which one do I take? And then you take one of them and you're walking around forever. And then the other drop is like 2 rooms to Darklink. But
yeah, we do have that's a possibility.
We do have an elevator room directly after Thunderbird, so we have one option, and here is the Eon room. Probably not going to drop. Probably going to want to check the right exit first, just to make sure it's not Darklink, and then explore more options from there. It's the L7 room, so that's a dead-end room, but that's a room you can drop into. Unos might drop here into the other room. That's a possibility. Digshake arrives at Thunderbird.
Yeah, what's another thing that's interesting with that L7 room is potentially that is not a dead end, depending on the enemy set in there and your patience and skill in damage boosting. There's a way to use the polar bears, as you like to call them, or the sine wave things that are in there in vanilla to jump over the wall and exit right, and then come back and take the drop even.
If the drop is on the path that is a save, I need to remind everybody though, if you found that room first, you had to have killed Thunderbird before you able to do that. You can't just skip the Dark Link if you do jump over that. Unos finds another drop room after landing, and then he finds 2 elevator rooms that lead into a dead end. So he's going to take one of those elevators up. Now, here's the thing. Every time you drop, you're guaranteed to exit, just like any other palace. So by taking a drop, you're never going to lock yourself in. It's always going to lead somewhere. It could lead behind Thunderbird, or it can lead, it can loop you around forever. But it's interesting to note, especially if you've seen the other drop rooms and the places you land, or if you just walk right into Dark Link's room here.
Yeah, this is unfortunately not a very exciting Great Palace for us.
We had one divergence, and it was really just go left and go up or down until you can go right again. There was an elevator up. Unos took it, went right, and there was Dark Link. So we had a little trouble in the beginning of this seed, but at 1 hour and 10 minutes, Unos defeats Dark Link, and he'll go up 1-0.
Yeah, this is a good time to remind everyone that this is actually a best of 3 round. So Unos with the win here is not yet decided that he'll advance. They'll play another race right after this one, and then if needed, a third one another time.
All right, we'll rack this one and, play round number 2 here. It could be an elimination. It is an elimination game. If Unos wins, Digshake is out of the tournament. If Digshake wins, they're going to have to play the rubber match at another time. They only decided to do 2 races tonight, not all 3.
Yeah, it looks like Dig's going to finish up this this run just because he's so close to the end here.
Yeah, he finds the dead end. He finds the elevator, backtracks to the elevator, and he's on the path to Dark Link now.
Yeah, this is very to the meta sort of Dark Palace. So I don't think we'll do an interview or anything in between the 2 races here. We'll probably just wait for them to get set up and do the second one, I imagine.
Yeah, knowing both these players, they want to roll the seed and get right into it and waste 0 time.
Yeah, it looks like we'll have about a 5 to 10 minute break here.
Yeah, so during this 5 to 10 minute break, we can catch. If anybody has any questions in chat about how the randomizer works, go ahead and let us know, and we'll try to answer it as best as possible, or direct you to an answer, or somebody in chat who knows better than us will answer for you.
Yeah, or we could read donations if anyone wants to donate. To what, I'm not sure, but go for it.
All right, they are getting set up in IRC once more. They can create the seed, and they're going to go chill out and do various things that I'm not repeating for a few minutes.
Yeah, with Unos in the chat, it's always kind of entertaining what might be said.
There are quite a few Blue Phoenix items that you probably wouldn't need on a randomizer run. You don't technically need the candle. Candle is very optional. It's comfort food for some people to have it, but certainly it's not required to do anything. Neither is the cross. Cross makes MOAs, invisible MOAs appear. That's not required either. Then every other item, and I guess your magic key is not required technically. Although I guess there could be a situation where you don't have fairy and you find 3 palaces, one of them contains the raft, and they're all locked from the front door. Then magic key would be required. Every other item has a potential to be required, but not a guarantee. Raft is really the only guaranteed item you need to beat the game. Glove is more than likely required, and then it could escalate down from there.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen a glove optional seed, but it's potentially there. Another question we had was, is it possible for the randomizer to make a seed that is not completable? And the short answer is no, but this is under active development sometimes, so we might get some beta versions of the randomizer that sometimes produce seeds that are not beatable, but generally you're safe if you're playing the released version that the seed that is produced will be finishable, assuming that you know all of the little tricks that are required.
This question is directed at you, Bentglass Tube. How are you so good at this game? What is your secret?
I don't think anyone actually asked that. But the secret is having a good tracker.
This guy knows about good trackers. If you go to twitch.tv/BentGlassTube, how's this for a segue? You can grab your own Zelda 2 randomizer tracker.
Yeah, I hear there's another competing Zelda 2 randomizer tracker that you can find at, I don't know if it's at twitch.tv/AngryLarry or angrylarrygaming.com.
Angry_Larry.
Your alter ego with an underscore.
That is for Windows people who don't like Apples or Macs or Linux. You can grab one there. BGT, put yourself in Dig Shake's shoes here. I'm not going to put you in Unos's shoes because he won. How are you blowing off some steam right now as Dig Shake and coming back with a nice, refreshed mind and be as positive as Jam was when he lost that last race?
I think what you got to do is just remind yourself that you enjoy playing this game for some reason and come back with the attitude that you're going to have fun, whether or not you win, and just try and do it as fast as you can and not really worry too much about what your opponent's doing.
So I saw Dig Shake's name in this race was Dig Sake or Dig Sake. Do you think missing the H gave him a lower HP agility build and put him in like an HP strength build, and for some reason he lost because of that?
Yeah, actually, that's a little known fact that your life levels will be altered by your name in this game, and that's actually not a fact at all. So any new potential players that are here, don't listen to us. We're just making things up at the moment.
And the name doesn't draw out line by line, character by character, so missing that one letter didn't save him frames every time he died either. So
yeah, I wonder if maybe Dig Sake is the way that he's going to be calming down between races.
So we have a question from Scorpion__Max. He was wondering what people who don't like him had to do with this. You can answer that one.
I didn't know that there were people that don't like Scorpion Max. I think he's my favorite enemy in Zelda 2.
Did you ever have trouble getting past the Scorpion Max?
Oh, of course. Almost every time I have trouble getting past him. At least in vanilla. In Randomizer, he doesn't seem to get in the way so much, probably because you don't go through the caves he guards.
All right, this question is, BGT, why do you have a room named after you?
I'm very, very seasoned in exploring the lava pits in a room. And so someone, I'm not sure who it was, but decided that they should name that room after me in honor of my many spelunking trips.
All right, we got a real question here. What items are needed for dig shake mode?
So I think the items that generally are accepted as dig shake mode are the raft, the reflect, and thunder spell. Sometimes also include glove and fairy because those are often needed or often so helpful that they might as well be needed. But I guess technically it's just reflect, thunder, and raft.
I cannot claim somebody is full dig shake as the term B until I know I've seen every single palace in the way to Valley of Death. So just having the glove, the raft, the reflect spell, thunder, and fairy is not enough for me. I need to know I don't need the boots or the horn, flute, whatever you want to call it, as well.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. You could decide per seed that full dig shake is just when you know that you have everything you need, or when we know that you have everything you need.
Yeah, because sometimes, obviously, as commentators watching both screens, you'll know exactly what items are needed before either player could put the pieces of the puzzle together. Since we're seeing both sides, so from this perspective, it's always nice to put it, put it in perspective. I said perspective a little bit too many times there, but I didn't know where I was going with it.
That's okay. It's good to have some perspective on how many times you're saying things.
Apothecary. I don't even know what that word was anymore. Were you there when I was trying to sound out words on Google? It was great.
I don't think I saw that one.